So there are 5 mastery level systems every business must put in place. And this week is part 2. You see, when you look at how effective you are every single week, part 1 was the default calendar, creating a consistent routine that has well worked for you. And candidly, when I look at how I've worked with executives for quite some time, it's real easy to find yourself in meetings all day long, or driving from place to place, or even traveling, flying from city to city, all those kind of things. And yet, it is possible to still be extremely efficient, effective, and productive instead of just being busy. As somebody who used to fly well over 100,000 miles every single year across the world, I understand what it is like to feel like you're just always busy. It's kind of hard to have a meeting when you're in mid-flight, 4 days out of the week, 2 days out of the week, 10 hours a week, whatever that may be. I literally used to have on average over 8 flights a week. It's a lot of traveling. For those that maybe you don't travel a lot, and yet you may find yourself in meetings nonstop, or going to coffees now that the kind of world's opening back up and things like that, or going to networking events nonstop. Whatever it may be for you, we got to first and foremost get the fundamental system of a default calendar in place to build your better routine. Then you got to identify what are all the time wasters, and you got to remove all of those things. Now, it's one of the reasons why I do 20-minute meetings now instead of 30-minute meetings, or even an hour-long meeting. We do 20. If we can't get accomplished in 20 minutes what we think we need to, then we're not being effective. That then brings us to part 2. Part 2 is about making sure tomorrow specifically is focused in the right area. How focused can you become? How focused are you right now? How many distractions do you allow to pop up to not then go focus on the most important tasks? You see, when you create, number 2, a action list, a daily action list, at the end of today, fill it out for tomorrow. Prioritize with the top things that are most important to you and your business moving forward and being successful. It's not about what's easy, it's about what's most important. And there are a few different areas of an action list. First and foremost, if you've never read Eat That Frog, I highly recommend it. It talks about procrastination. It talks about how when you really start to focus in on what's the one thing I'm going to procrastinate the most on, you can then say, okay, maybe I need to start my day every single day with that one thing of whatever tomorrow I'm going to procrastinate on. I'm going to get that out of the way, so that way the rest of my day is actually focused. You see, a daily action list is there to help you become productive and successful in the growth of your business, with wherever growth may need to take place. Sometimes that's financial, sometimes that's customers, sometimes that's team, sometimes that's in systems, whatever it may be. You have time allocated based on the default calendar to now work on these actions. There's handwritten versions, there's PDF fillable versions. In fact, if you watch this and you comment on it, we'll send you the resources for free. We'll give you them so that way you can print them off, or that way you can type them in on your computer, however you decide to use them. You see, studies have shown that professionals who invest a few minutes at the end of the day to prioritize and gain clarity on the tasks for the next day, on what needs to be completed, achieve more and feel less overwhelmed, because they have greater clarity on what to do to get more success, on how to move the needle towards progressing towards those goals. And so this is a discipline and a routine to work through. You see, at the end of the day, you fill it out for the next day. And the other areas that you could consider outside of Eat That Frog, which is, the thing you're going to procrastinate on, you may also look at what are the top 2 or 3 action items to move me towards my 90-day plan, my goals for the quarter, or even the month. You may have things on there that are who do I need to follow up with? Who's the list of actually, so maybe on the calendar I have follow up as a 25-minute time block. Okay, who am I specifically following up with in that time block? You may have other tasks that you actually need to delegate, not abdicate. There's a difference there. Go research that, or watch one of my past videos on the difference there. You may have tasks that you need to properly delegate to other team members, get them off of your plate. So you may you may need to write down, what am I even doing this for? What am I building this towards? Why am I working on this for my own life and for the business? So when you really work through those consistent items, the thing you're going to procrastinate on, like if I have to do blank sometime and I'm not really looking forward to it, start the day with it, get it out of the way. The rest of the day becomes easier. What are those other things that I need to be doing to contribute to my larger goals? And then what are the other tasks or projects that need to be done or follow up with or delegated? You see, the action list will help you increase the management effectiveness as well, because when you have a team in place and everyone on the team is doing these and they are sending their daily action list along with their KPIs, and again, it's another topic. When they're sending those two things to their manager, their boss, potentially the owner of the business, depending on the size of the business, the manager or CEO is now able to look across the organization at a quick glance and make sure that everyone is focused in the right area, especially for those of you who have larger teams. Teams, 25, 50, 100, 300, 500 employees, thousands of employees. When you look at each manager, when each manager gets their daily action list from their team before the end of the day, they can review them, and the managers send them to their managers all the way up. So that way the whole organization is now properly focused on what must be done the next day. You can make sure that focus is put in a proper place. So part 2, daily action list. Make sure those are in place in your business. It will help you become more effective and efficient. Again, there are 5 mastery level systems, and there are 2 team level systems that we'll talk about after these 5. When you put all 7 of these systems in place, you will have the proper core fundamentals put in place in your business that are there to help you become profitable, help you scale, and become sustainable as a business. You can build a multi-million-dollar business just off of these alone. Now, what's interesting is some people are just unwilling to do it. So if you want true success, you start by putting these things in place consistently. I'm Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm a non-medical type of doctor. I operate on business. And today we were operating on yours. Bye for now.